Well, alrighty, you're welcome. For a Tuesday, we always like to talk entertainment, and for entertainment today, we are reviewing new albums by some of the industry's finest, and joining us today for that is Mr. Infusing. You know that sounds South African, yeah?
Yeah, it has a South African ring to it.
If you put an apostrophe, a reverse apostrophe in the beginning, it will be Nkasi.
Yeah, so closer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, that's a nice entertainment name. You could keep it, you know.
Make it work.
All right, grand. So, hey, let's talk new album. So, Afrobeat superstar singer Ayodeji Ibrahim, also known as Wizkid,
Big Wiz.
He delighted his fans with the release of his newly anticipated 5th studio album, More Love, Less Ego. Now, it's a 13-track album, and it sees Afrobeat maestro infusing a blend of Afropop, Amapiano, R&B vibes, and, you know, create some feel-good rhythm for you guys to celebrate more love over money. Well, I don't know if this is the best. Well, this is what he said. A quote here. He said, I feel we need more love in our communities. We need to be just good to one another and appreciate life more. So the album title and even the music is just my own way of making people feel good. Well, kudos to Wizkid. Thank you very much, Wizkid. But what do you think? Kasi? Kasi, I'm sorry.
So what I think about...
I see what you did there.
No, but quite frankly, I mean, I wouldn't seem to speak for Wizkid because I don't know what his mind state was on a personal level. But listening to the album, I thought it was smooth. I think that's the word that I used to describe it. I understand people's feedback in the sense that it doesn't have the extra edge that we're coming to be used to, especially considering what is very pop right now. But if you take it in the context in which it was presented, I think it makes sense. And I'll make the argument, I dare make the argument that it's probably one of the works that represent what a body of work should sound like, and this is what I mean.
Okay.
Very often when Nigerians make albums, we have a tendency to sort of just slap a bunch of songs that we think sound great together. More often than not, a body of work should be consistent in some form, either in terms of narrative or sonics.
I feel you.
So sonically speaking, it is consistent, and I feel like for that reason, I'll give it, you know, a big thumbs up on that front.
Okay, and nobody's put it the way you have. That's very intelligent the way you put it. I was going to come in swinging, but I'm going to rein my horses in, but yet I will still give my own little, you know, flavor here. But let's feel one of the tracks on that album here. This is Big Wiz from the album More Love, Less Ego, and I'll be back to tell you what I think. Love the feel, love what it looks like, love what it sounds like. That consistency you speak of is actually the strength of the album.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also the downfall. I'll tell you why I say that.
I'll hear you out.
Now, from his previous albums, we all know that Wizkid is the go-to guy for a feel-good album, a feel-good track. You just want to listen to him while they're traveling or whatever it is. Everything is going to be consistent. But I think we have moved on to an age where, especially Nigerian music, where everybody's expecting Afrobeat music to have a bit of, you know...
punch.
Yeah, punch. Some of that Ashake vibes. I'm not asking him to do no Amapiano laced front-back type album.
Yeah.
But I was really looking for that hard-hitting thing that I could play on repeat every single time. You can play the entire album on repeat.
Yeah.
You get me? But you won't play one song on repeat.
So maybe that's the thing about it. I feel like I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that as a creative who's done this for, what, over 10 years now, I think that the biggest drawback with creative work is how subjective it is. You can actually drag Ashake for the same thing. He has a project that, for the most part, a lot of the songs sound alike, but we love it.
Oh, you mean it's an album? I thought it was one song.
My point exactly. You know, but we love it. But there's contexts where people actually find like stuff like Wizkid's album now, and suddenly it's a problem. So I'll just say that I think the biggest thing is the artist's mind states. Fortunately or unfortunately, it happens. There's a, let's call it like a pyramid to the artist's journey. And Wiz is at a point where he doesn't have a lot to prove, where he makes the music reflect his mind state. So I think that's a big part of the whole thing.
So you see, Eclipse, there's so much to unpack here. What people are doing currently is they're making music for TikTok. If it doesn't have that 15 seconds that's going to stand out, then it's not grand.
But this is the risk with that. Let's think about when Mr. Easy broke into the industry. Everything was fast-paced. But the reason he stood out was because what he was doing was different. So that whole era that ushered in the likes of Pana and whatnot was very different from the workout music we used to have then, because now we're kind of going back to that speed where every song sounded like was something you should work out to. So I think that as an artist, there's one of two things you can do. You can either try and join the wave or try and be a trendsetter. And very often you make a deeper impact when you steer away from the wave. It's risky.
Yeah,
but
it is
when
risky.
it pays off big. And it's a gamble that people have to take sometimes.
Grand. I like the way you think, man. I love this. Now, let's move on to another album you guys have anticipated for the entire year. Finally, it's here, and it's time to celebrate. Or is it? Nigerian renowned rapper Vector dropped his lovely project titled Teslim. The energy still lives in me. Or does it? Now, the amazing album, they say, is a 16-track album and is a true definition of an Afro-hip-hop album. Apparently, his album dropped the same day as Wizkid's one did, so I don't know if this was a good idea or an abysmally bad one, because it would seem that you can't go toe-to-toe with Wizkid now. That's an international thing. For a local artist, and I call Vector, I'm sorry, Vector, I love your music. I thought one of the biggest albums for I can't remember the year now, was his previous album.
The one before this was The Vibes Before Teslim.
Yeah, The Vibes Before Teslim. I thought it was mad. I thought it was fantastic. So when the 16-track album dropped, the energy is still in me. I don't know about that energy anymore. In fact, you know what? Let's let everybody take a listen to this, or take a look-see, and tell me what you think about the energy. We'll be back. There you have it. That's Maradona, and I can see that you're vibing to it. Yeah,
I love it.
So that's the thing. This is Teslim.
Yeah.
The vibe is still in me. This is Vector. This ain't no rap battle track. This ain't no girl Vector. This ain't no oof oof. I'm coming for the punch. I'm coming in swinging. Better watch out. Pick your fights. Guard your wallets, and you better have your mans with you. I'm not feeling that anymore.
And why must he be that every time?
Because that's what Vector's known for. But since he got good with Emma, it's like as if somebody took the balls from under him. And I mean football. So
even Emma, it's perfect that you mentioned M. There's a reason why MI for the longest had the illegal music mixtapes separate from the albums. The albums will always have the singy MI, African
commercial
rapper, number one. Those records will always be there. So it's important that an artist like Vector has a chance to actually explore other sounds and grow. If he was always doing rapidy rap, I don't know if the albums will...
Are we in the era where rappers are growing now? Rap music is actually taking a back seat. It's not dead. I'm just saying it's taking a back seat. So if you did not evolve from before, this is not the time to start saying you want to experiment and evolve. Why not? You can do that with all the Amapianos and Afrobeats and all, but as a battle rapper, I expected I expected some hard-hitting stuff.
Here's the question.
Every Superman needs a Lex Luthor. Every Batman needs a Superman in a funny kind of way,
He's a Joker.
Well, a Joker, there you go. But without MI, is Vector still the Viper?
Man, he is very much so, and I'll tell you this. You make it sound like it's bad to be anything more than the one thing someone is known for.
Oh, chest shot.
So even if he starts out giving you the hard bars, he's proven himself. You know he can do that. He still delivers. On the project, there's still some strong songs, like the one with Poe, with Ladipo, and it was an amazing track. But it's nice to hear him do something lighter, expand the audience base, and most importantly, besides the creative process, it's a business.
It's 16 tracks of that kind of music.
No, I don't think so. There's a nice mix. There's the one with Nasty C.
I like the what's it called again? Oh, I wrote it down here. I like the one with the kids in it. It's a Shoki Sombolo. I thought that was nice. I liked it. It had that choir, and once you put kids in anything, it's gonna sell. Timberland. That's what he reeled you guys in with. You just didn't know.
I feel like I should make this a new line of work to go around defending the artists across Nigeria and explaining to the world why this art is the way it is.
Music politics, that's good. Drake and 21 Savage new joint LP, Her Loss, tops Billboard's 200 albums chart. Now, as Billboard reports, the record debuted at #1 on the charts with this year's biggest week for a hip-hop and R&B album, and the 4th largest streaming week for any album ever. Her Loss also dethroned Taylor Swift's Midnight, which topped the charts shortly after its released in on October 21st. Now, at this point, we must admit that Drake can do no wrong when it comes to music and sales. So yes, yet another feel-good rapper, washing machine rapper.
So Drake can do no wrong now. Yeah. But when Vector wants to sing a bit, it's too much.
Drake is established.
Maradona with the soccer.
You know Drake will come in and repeat one verse a million times and it will still sell.
Yeah.
With Vector, you want something that's going to leave you with a whiplash, like, whoa, type thing.
But while you're getting that, he wants to throw in a few more things in there and show you that there's more to him.
Don't experiment now, Vector.
Look, don't even take it from me, right? Maybe you should do a poll and ask the gal them, because I think girls really like Vector now. It's starting to be a thing. So Vector is slowly becoming our Michael B. Jordan / I see you there. For the gal them.
But with this one now, with Drake, this one topping charts for, I mean, this is going to be a big one, do you think, yet again?
It's Drake. It always is. Like, he owns the charts.
So this is what I say. Drake, Chris Brown, I can't remember who else. They are making music for the new generation, and that's TikTok music. That's music where 15 seconds is going to outlast the entire track, and all you'll ever hear are those 15 seconds on social media going round and round and round. And that's what I'm thinking our Nigerian musicians have to start doing. You have to start welding your music so, in a way, you can take out that 15 seconds and make it last forever. That's the secret that we're missing out on now.
With a caveat. You don't decide for TikTok what that 15 seconds will be.
I agree with you.
It may not always be at the start. It could be somewhere in the middle. That's why some of the biggest songs off of TikTok the wave didn't start with the artists themselves. People just decided that they would flip it. Or sometimes actually switch the instrumentals and do something bigger with it. Same thing happened with Natasha Bedingfield, a bunch of people. So TikTok is a jungle of its own. And I think that as far as you have something catchy that works, has a bounce, and someone can create some routine where you swipe up and slide sideways,
Yeah.
you're halfway there.
Yeah,
The
well,
rest of it is for the gods of the algorithms to
You know what, Eclipse, I love your analysis. I think it's grand. I hope to see you here often. Please, can we bring him always for Tuesdays? Can we do that? That's a good mind, a good brain on your shoulders there.
Much a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, man. Looking forward to seeing you again, okay?